can put this on various platforms. And so, hello, and good morning, people. Good morning, world, and welcome to the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Today is like an NBA playoff edition, I guess we could say, because we'll be focusing on that, but we will talk about a few other things as well. Thank you for tuning in with us this morning as we conversate about the latest sports topics that has taken place from this past week and will be upcoming this week. It is always a blast to have you all tune in and participate with us every weekend. As a reminder, every week we always like to begin our podcast by reminding our audience that the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found on Facebook via the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast page, on Spotify's The Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, that's the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, as well as our own Facebook pages via Brandon Price, Jamar Goodman, and this morning, Deshaun Reed Sr. Today is April 23rd of 2022, and we have yet again seen another fascinating week in the sports world, where we saw a slew of injuries hit championship contenders in the first round. Kevin Durant, he's off to a terrible shooting start, and now it's an emergency. It appears to be to get Ben Simmons back in. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they choke, and I repeat, they choke, and I repeat, choke. And so I'm saying choke two times because they choked twice with 23 plus point leads and now face a 2-1 deficit to a very young and tough grit and grind Memphis Grizzlies team. Earl Thomas, he wants to get off the couch, y'all, after 2 years, and he is reinstating himself back into the NFL, as well as the Chicago White Sox and Chicago Cubs, both having tough weeks. And so with that being said, introducing my brother from another mother, Mr. Jamar Goodman. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. How's everybody? I'm good.
Good, man. And introducing my brother here, Deshaun Reed. We've been rocking with you, Deshaun. You've been the first guest on our podcast, man. When we first started out years back, and you've been rocking with us ever since. We truly appreciate you chopping it up with us. How are you this morning, man?
Man, I'm doing fantastic, bro. It's always good to be here. I appreciate you both for, letting me, chime in. I got a couple things to say this morning, but at this point, it's like, we are family. So, man, I really do appreciate you guys having me on this morning.
Yes, sir, man. Thanks for chopping it up with us, my bro. And so with that being said, gentlemen, let's get right into it. Let's talk about the first round NBA playoffs. And we obviously have seen the number of matchups. The Golden State Warriors, right? They are looking very lethal, y'all, at this moment with this small ball lineup. And, right now they frustrating the hell out of Joker, look like, and various others. You see guys getting into it on the sideline, etc. And so we got a lot going on with that. And so just curious, guys, on your thoughts on this Nuggets series. And just additionally want to know, are the Nuggets cooked at this point?
Oh yeah, stick a fork in them. You can
go ahead, Deshaun. We began with you since you're our guest this morning.
Stick a fork in them, man. Listen, like this is like one of those series that I thought would have, ended up like a little bit better. I thought the Nuggets would have been able to actually like make this some sort of series, but every game that goes on, Steph Curry adds like more minutes, he adds more points, he adds more reps, like he's getting back into like the flow of things. Not to mention that like Jordan Poole has ascended to become this player that's gonna, secure some sort of big bag someday, man. If he truly wants to be, a true like a next dynasty, you know what I mean? Like they would do everything that they can to secure this guy. You got, you still got Klay Thompson, like the rest of those guys, but the way that they're rolling right now, I'm not sure if you guys are going to ask this, but if Steph Curry is to maintain this production, and he's coming off the bench still, right? So it's man, it's like scary hours right now, man. I'm not sure if once he gets fully healthy, I'm not sure if anybody can beat him, and I'm being completely honest.
Man. Yeah, man. Very interesting. Go ahead, Jamal. I'm sorry. Apologies.
Oh no worries. I mean, Deshaun, you mentioned they're cooked, but you also mentioned you thought that Jokic could do more, but
yeah,
like truth be told, I mean that team has not been at full strength all year. Jamal Murray, he still hasn't come back. I know he's been in the D League trying to rehab, but at this point, there's no point of bringing him back. Michael Porter Jr. the knock on him coming in was that back. And Lord and behold, I mean, he's dealing with stuff like that. So it's basically, Jokic has had a wonderful season. He's many people MVPs. He's not my MVP, but from a statistical standpoint, you can't deny how great he's been this year. Problem is, it's being exposed right now. Like in these playoff series, like, guys in certain matchups are getting exposed. That's the beauty of a playoff series. So you have to adjust. With Jokic out here, doing all that he can do, it's like, is the rest of his team really that good? Or has it just been Jokic all the time? If it's just been Jokic all the time, you going against a Warriors team who like been primed to actually make a finals run since the beginning of this year with expectations. They take a step back with the injuries to Curry and Draymond in the middle of the year. But when you have the resurgence of Jordan Poole, who, like I said, he's going to get the bag. It's just a matter of time and probably matter of location as well. We'll see on that. But when you have that on top of what they already have, I mean, the Warriors looking like the best team in the Western Conference at this exact moment.
For sure.
So, yeah, Nuggets are done. They're burnt toast like Eli Apple out here. It's a wrap. Like, I don't even think you can stick a fork in it. It's not going through. Just throw the whole plate away.
Man, bro. Yeah, you guys are bringing up something. My question is, fellas, what does this do for the Joker's MVP consideration? Because, I mean, damn it, like, I just felt like how close this MVP race is, I don't think it should have been solved in the regular season, guys. I really don't. I feel like it should have depended at least on the first round, because I have heard in the past, I've heard that, and I watched First Take a little bit, y'all. Stephen A has said that he's not voted on MVP sometimes until he's seen how they did in the first round, depending on how that MVP race is. And I just felt like, y'all, like, it's really, really tight. And I just feel like Embiid is really the maybe I'm wrong. But, yeah.
No, I agree. Like, I'm with you, but for the Joker to be able to carry the team that he has, Jamar already mentioned like the multitude of injuries that these guys have sustained over the course of the season, and still, able to give them a puncher's chance. Now, again, like a puncher's chance inside the playoffs when going up against the Golden State Warriors that are, like killing it right now. I mean, it's just unfortunate, but a case can be made for Joker. But I'm with you, Brandon, man. I'm like, my MVP, if my vote actually counted, would be for Joel Embiid.
Yeah. Good morning, Ian. Good morning, my bro. Look, y'all,
Good morning.
Ian just had a few things he had to take care of, all right? That's why he ran like 3 minutes late, okay? And so it's all good, man. Y'all forgive Ian. Ian just, busy man. And so, and we talking about the Nuggets and Warriors series. And right now, the Warriors, man, they looking like they clicking on all cylinders. They looking like that team that was at the beginning of the season. They looking like that team that's been having that run for years, which is scary as hell if you plan against them, especially in the third quarter as they blitz you and you just get blitzed, as y'all know how the Warriors do with Steph Curry. And so, man, just curious, are the Denver Nuggets cooked at this point? Are they cooked like burnt toast? And just you got any thoughts from this series? Like, what is the Warriors doing? What are the Nuggets not doing? Like,
I believe they're cooked for two reasons. So after they lost the other night, I heard their coach like kind of say he was like proud of the team, like basically like the series was over. I'm like, y'all still got one, one more game. So I'm like, I guess they just throwing in the towel, huh? So yeah, that series is pretty much over. I know they got a lot of injuries. Michael Porter Jr., I mean, he just stays injured with that back. Jamal Murray. Yeah, Jamal Murray, he's been hurt all year. So, I mean, Jokic, he don't play bad, but the Warriors, they just look scary. Like you said, they firing on all cylinders. What they call a new foursome, PTSD. They look scary, man. They look scary. Like Jordan Poole, it's almost like they got two Steph Currys now.
Thank you. You took the words out of my mouth, bro.
Crazy. So yeah, that series is over, and with Devin Booker getting hurt, the Warriors looking like, man, this was looking scary. I was in the West for everybody.
I said the same thing.
Got a lot going on, man. Like you mentioned that, and Jamar, as you know, Deshaun, he's been talking about Utah, and it's clear as hell. We're about to talk about this series right now, so this is the transition. Utah, it's looking like there's something going on under the table, Jamar. Like Deshaun, there's like something going on between these two superstars. This man, Rudy Gobert, is not shooting the ball for some reason. Donovan Mitchell look like he holding some in. And they got the right opponent at the right time. Because even though they don't have Luka Doncic, the Mavericks somehow, some way, they've been orchestrated to be a team that can score on you like the Warriors in a way. And they can go small ball in a way. And they present a lot of challenges defensively low key because they got some good defenders on that team. So let's talk about this Utah and Denver series. Deshaun, we know you are a proud Dallas Mavericks fan. We see you blushing over there, man. Your face right now.
Yo, this is Jamar. So Jamar made a post inside, our little group chat or whatever. He mentioned that it was Luka Doncic or nothing, and the way that social media is set up now, you can hate that post, you know what I mean, with like a mean face. So that's exactly what I did. Right. And for good reason, because of the simple fact that I truly believed in Jalen Brunson. I truly believed in the direction that Jason Kidd had these guys playing, man. And I get it. The way that they're shooting the ball right now, it'll be very, very difficult to duplicate. And I completely understand that we might not have those shooting games the way that we have in these past few, because Maxi Kleber was out there looking like dirt. You know what I mean? He was shooting the ball amazing. You got Jalen Brunson having career highs. I think he had 30-something points the other game, 41-point career high game. Yeah, 41-point career high night for him, man. So focal point. But the thing that you mentioned, Brandon, is that they have been solid up on the defensive end. You know what I mean? They have been doing a very good job. Gobert, I'm not sure what the heck is up with his touches, man. I think that has he even scored double-digit scoring in this series just yet? You know what I mean? I'm not even I can't even say that he has. So like you mentioned, I think it is something brewing between Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. So needless to say, if we can't, no, we will win the series. And once we do, I guarantee you that's probably be the last that we see of that duo going forward.
So Jamar, I need you to break this down because you saw this like a guru. You saw this before it really kind of hit the surface, I guess. And so what's going on, man?
So initially before the series start, I did say it was Luka or bust for the Mavs. But after game one, it was kind of evident that the struggles that Utah has had in this season has definitely carried over and has escalated to the fact that you look and it's Donovan Mitchell out here taking 30 shots a game, just trying to force everything. I mean, I get it. You are the budding star and right now supposedly the best talent on the floor between the both teams. But with him forcing the issue, it's other guys can't get involved, can't get any rhythm. Probably guys don't even want to play hard because you're sitting here ball hogging all the time and just call it for what it is. Yeah. He doesn't trust his teammates. And, there's been reports about, Donovan Mitchell only passing the ball to Rudy Gobert an average of 2.3 times a game or something like that. Wow. I've seen plenty of times where Rudy Gobert has his man sealed out under the basket, mismatch, and Donovan Mitchell will look him off and try to force something. It's stuff like that that's causing this team to implode. Dallas right now is playing like the better team because Dallas actually plays as a team. To see Jalen Brunson career high 41 points in game 2 and then to follow it up with 31 points in game 3, Kleber out here, like Deshaun said, shooting like Dirk, just shooting the lights out. He had 8 3-pointers in game 2. In game 3, I think he was like, what, 4 or 5? Like, this team is just rolling right now. Dallas is playing as a unit. Jason Kidd had done a phenomenal job. There's no point of bringing Luka back in game 4. You already like did what you were supposed to do, take a game from Utah. Apparently, Utah can't even get their ish together. So, therefore, this series probably be over in 5 at the way it's going. They suck. Utah sucks. And it's Donovan Mitchell's fault.
Man, and that's crazy, man. Like Utah just was the number 1 seed last year, one of the best teams. You know, a lot of people looked at it as the future. And to see this happening, it is very interesting. But I must say this, Deshaun, y'all. If Kleber, y'all, is hitting 3-pointers, because he already a defender. Y'all know if that man is hitting 3-pointers for the Mavericks and he's doing that consistently, that is a problem. It's a major problem, and it presents Dallas as a very dangerous team because he usually don't hit threes like that. He bricks a lot. But if he is on, that's trouble, man. That's big trouble for real. But yeah, go ahead, my bro, man.
I mean, you guys pretty much hit on the head. You can see with Utah, the dysfunction is spilling out on the court. And I agree with what Jamar said. I've always felt like Donovan Mitchell, he takes a lot of ill-advised shots. Like you look at his numbers, he might have 40 points, but he didn't took 30 shots. So he didn't like hit a couple threes, and he didn't took 35, 27 shots to get 40 points. So I don't know. He hasn't really been efficient, and you could just tell him they play. Like he stated, you know, he's not getting the ball to Rudy Gobert. I mean, he's typically not a big offensive threat, but he's still a big body, so you got to feed him, you know what I'm saying, regardless. So I don't know. It's kind of surprising because, you know, Luka's hurt, so you don't think, you know, Dallas would be up like they are, but, you know, Jalen Brunson, he just stepped up, and they playing as a team, like you guys said, they playing as a team, and you can clearly see Utah isn't. So if they get taken out the first round without Luka, you need to blow it up. It's time to blow it up. I think they need to blow it up, period, but it'd be really time to blow it up.
Man, and that's interesting, man, because think about it, y'all. Rudy Gobert is an all-star. This man is a consistent all-star. He rebounds very well. He defends very well. He catches lobs. Man, I'm just wondering, like, who the hell do you replace him with? Like, what is, you know, Utah, you know, like, Donovan Mitchell, I think he stays. But Rudy Gobert, he goes, I guess. And so, like, who do you replace that with? I mean, it's not a question we really got to answer now, gentlemen. We have to, you know, see what will happen with the situation. But it'll be very interesting to see, like, what will happen with that going forward if they were to break it up, you know, like, because he does contribute pretty well, y'all. I mean, outside of the offensive end, he does kind of everything else pretty well.
Yeah,
But,
sure.
you know, go ahead, Ains, about to say something, bro?
No, I was just saying we will take them in Chicago.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For defensive purposes.
Hell yeah, that is a good idea. I like that for real. I really like that.
We'll take
really
it. I mean, because you got to think about it. You know what we're gonna get out of Rudy Gobert. He's gonna play defense. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna throw him a couple oops. He's gonna have putbacks. He's gonna get rebounds. And I feel like that's something the Bulls struggle in a lot is rebounding the ball. And a big defensive presence down low. So
yeah.
I mean, we'll take them. I don't think they have the money for them, but yeah.
Right. We even can stop the damn park car last night, but anyway, we're gonna talk about that short. All right, fellas. We'll talk about the Bulls. Let's talk about the Bulls right now, man, since we're talking about it. And so yesterday, my brother Jamar, he put up a post and he asked which series is most likely without, you know,
Did he freeze?
Yeah, it looks like it.
I think so.
All right. So I guess, I mean, he was asking, I had put up a post yesterday in our Facebook group saying, what's most likely to happen, the Bulls to upset the Bucks without Chris Middleton, or, the Pelicans upsetting the Suns without Devin Booker. Just, ironically, both, finals and matchup last year is going through the same adversity here. As you know, our Bulls got smacked last night pretty bad. I guess, does the Bulls still have a chance in this series? Because it seemed like the defending champs, backs against the wall. They came out swinging like Mike Tyson did on that guy in the plane. So therefore, Ian, I'm gonna start with you. What are your thoughts on Game 3, and what can the Bulls do to turn this around Game 4 Sunday?
Embarrassment. I would have rather them lost Game 2 and came home and won. It's the offensive gameplay for us. I hate it. It's like they just play brick ball. It's like they so predictable. They come down, whoever come down with the ball, DeMar DeRozan or Levine or whoever the point guard is normally it's one of them, because we don't have Lonzo Ball right now. So normally it's one of them. They come down with the ball. Here come Tristan Thompson or Vooch with the pick. After that, everybody hit the corners. Everybody get the fuck out of the way. And it's one-on-one ball. It's like, come on, bro. That's not championship playoff ball, bro. We can't win like that. And if one of them not hitting their shots, we're going to get blew out. And it's just like, that's not going to win us. That's not, if I know that's what we're going to do, I'm pretty sure the Bucks know that's what they're going to do. I'm pretty sure the whole NBA knows that's what they're going to do. It could work a game or two hit up, but it's not. And they came out with intensity in Game 2, so I kind of figured they would win Game 2, but I don't know. They still got a chance technically, but they just got to come play. They got to find something to do on offense. You just can't play ISO ball. ISO ball does not win playoff. Does not attribute to playoff wins or championship. So,
telling the truth there. Deshaun, what's your thoughts? Defending champs back against the wall, came out with a haymaker in Game 3. What's your thoughts on that one?
Oh man, it was a straight gut punch, man. It was definitely a punch to the gut. Ian said it beautifully. It's no, where's the cohesion? There's no cohesiveness out there. These guys aren't playing team ball right now. And one of the stats that I wanted to point out was that DeMar DeRozan took 9 shots yesterday. What's up with that? That's one of the things that you want to see him be the focal point of this offense, in my opinion. He's the guy that's going to get you guys going. I do predict you guys to win this maybe next game, but after that, man, I can't see it. To me, you guys are looking shell shocked out there. It's just it's like you're dazed, and it's just you're playing uninspired basketball. You know what I mean? The Bulls are like legit playing uninspired basketball right now. It's like they know their fate already. And it's not like they're going out and put out a fight. If you look at the guys' rosters from top to bottom, you can compete. I understand the injury to Lonzo Ball, that was terrible, because you lose your primary ball handler. And but I'm still looking at the roster right now. You got Patrick Williams. He was 0 for 9, yesterday in 30 minutes. So he was basically out there just, rebounding.
Wow.
and things.
Thank you for these stats, Deshaun. 0 for 9.
0 for 9, 1 point, man, in 30 minutes. That's it. That's a huge issue. Yeah. He's out there just basically, burning calories. So that is unexpected. It's just, man, it was just alarming. So I peeped at a little bit of this game. And you guys already said, it was a blowout. The game was ugly. So I definitely had to turn away from it. But I wouldn't think in a million years that DeRozan would only take 9 shots, as good as he is and as MVP-ish as he's been this season. So that was an alarming stat for me. So
Gotcha.
Yeah. Just to jump in, Jamar, and you can beat me up, man. With this game, it looked terrible. The Bulls, and thank you for that, Deshaun. Zach LaVine, y'all. Now, maybe, Jamar, you can help me with this, but he takes very ill-advised damn shots himself. he just be throwing up. I'd be like, Zach, you kind of, you remember how we were making fun of Tony a couple of weeks ago? We'll talk about Tony shortly. But like, it's like, Zach, like, I know he haven't been in the playoffs before. Has he been in a playoff shot with the Timberwolves? I'm not sure.
No.
Oh, this is his first playoff series.
Right. And so he kind of playing like it, like he don't take no strategy. He just throw the ball up and, just kind of go out there and just play crazy. Like it was a possession yesterday, y'all, where I'm like, if he passed the ball to Kobe White just a little bit earlier, Kobe White just ready right there, y'all. Ready for, ready to do what he do. And Zach just keep dribbling. I'm like, Zach, no. And so that's kind of part of it. He doesn't play inspired defense. Drew Holiday, y'all, he was on DeRozan like white on rice. He was fighting through them screens, as y'all can see. When they go around screens, he was bumping them screens. He was really, really physical with him, looked like he was really physical. And that's surprising, y'all, because Drew Holiday's not the biggest guy, but he must be pretty damn strong because he literally battling through the screens all up in this man business every way he went. And so part of the reason, I guess, why he took them 9 shots to Sean is because, of that reason. But you're right, man. We're not going to win a game if DeMar DeRozan's only taking 9 shots. We're not going to win the game if Vujovic can't stop a parked car. We're not going to win a game if Patrick Williams is 0 for 9. We're not going to win a game if Zach LaVine is going out there throwing up Hail Mary shots from half court. Like, we just are not going to win a game. And so the Bulls, man, you're right, talented roster, and we definitely miss Lonzo Ball seriously. But at the same time, you can't go out there and just stink up the joint the way you did without Chris Middleton on the court. No, not at home neither. Not on a Friday night. Not in the madhouse. No, that's unacceptable. It's really, really unacceptable, man. So, Jamar, man, apologies, bro.
No, you're good. I mean, valid points across the board from everybody. Like, look, they're down their second best player. He's not coming back anytime soon. Instead of, coming out there with some type of post, some type of aggression, some type of assertiveness, they came out flat. They played better on the road than they did last night. Like, they came out with a mentality in Milwaukee, like, we want to be respected. We the team from the first part of the year, not the second half, but the second half team showed up last night. And so last year, I'm hard on Coach Bud because to me, Coach Bud is a terrible coach. Coach Bud doesn't make any adjustments whatsoever, none. I'm on record to saying that he should still be fired after winning that championship last year. He just sucked to me. He just trash. And for the Milwaukee Bucks, they did make a couple of adjustments, and I'm sitting here like, whoa. And for Billy Donovan to like not do anything about that, it's alarming. It threw me off. The fact that the Bucks defensive intensity picked up big time. The fact that they adjusted so bad, they got Vooch out here shooting 9 threes last night. 9 threes. And of course, he's not shooting Steph Curry from behind the arc. So that right there is a tale within itself. The fact that Patrick Williams shot as many shots as DeRozan, that's a tale within itself.
Oh, man.
The fact that, like Brandon mentioned, LaVine out here throwing up Hail Marys, you can definitely tell LaVine has not been playing in high leverage moments at all. Just by the shot selection. In game 1, I saw it right there. 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. You over here shooting a 30-foot three-pointer. For what reason? I don't know. Last night, I mean, he shot 6 to 13, fine, but it was, by that point, game's already over. They need to make the extra pass. Like Brandon said, I'm sitting here watching like Kobe White wide open. He don't get the ball in time. Kobe White penetrates. There's I think LaVine or somebody else just spotting up waiting. Instead, he take a contested shot at the rim. It's just like it was a low IQ. It was just flat. They just act like they just running wreck at your local YMCA and just wanted to burn some calories, like you all said, and just wanted to get out of there. That's what it felt like. I expect them to play a lot better in game 4 on Sunday.
Yep. But
if they have any chance of trying to tie this series up and maybe make it more interesting, they got to play like they did in Milwaukee. They just have to.
LaVine got to show up for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Jamar, by the way, when you get a chance, take a look at the MESS. And so, like, yeah, it is a very, very interesting dynamic to just see how they played, man. Looks really, really bad as Bull fans. You know, you got a prime opportunity here. You gotta take advantage of it, seriously. And so, yes, actually, Jamar, I'm gonna put you on the spot, my bro. Y'all, we will have Jamar finish the commentating, and I'm gonna chime in, and I'm gonna let my brother Jamar do his thing, and Ian, we could probably get you next week, etc. Yeah. So, Jamar, go ahead, bro. Narrate. Go ahead, narrate, man.
All right. So next series we're gonna mention. You know, I call it sweet revenge. For Game 3 in this series, and this is the Sixers and the Raptors. For the ones that's been under a rock that did not see Joel Embiid did what he did, that game-winning 3-point shot from the corner. It basically, for the ones that remember, a couple of years ago when Kawhi Leonard had that infamous shot, just broke all of Philadelphia down to the ground on his knees, just crying. Had Joel Embiid in the hallway just tearing up. It was one of those monumental moments in NBA history. And so for Joel Embiid to do that, that was, you know, pretty remarkable. Guys, a lot of people picked Toronto to actually win this series, but now they down 0-3.
They did.
So, Brandon, like, all right, is this team just as burnt toast as like Eli Apple and the other team we mentioned earlier and the Nuggets?
Y'all, by the way, if you ever on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast community page, Eli Apple gets cooked like a damn apple pie on that page. Like, legitly. They got various posts that can come at any time of the day that could just amuse you with Eli Apple getting mossed at any moment. And so, like,
interceptions next year, man.
I hope so for his sake.
So yeah, Eli Apple, man, I think low key he might be a fan of the podcast, y'all. Because I'm telling you, if he do, he gonna be motivated. He gonna be like, God damn it, people are out there laughing at me, man. Seriously, they are laughing at my work, like seriously. And so yeah, y'all, the Raptors look terrible. They tried in Toronto, they really, really did, but the biggest factor in this series, y'all, low key, has been the dominance of Joel Embiid. And it's not just offensively, y'all, but it's the rebounding. It's the rebounding of Joel Embiid that's been just able to get those possessions. He has actually manhandled Pascal Siakam. And these are both Cameroon buddies, by the way, guys. These guys both grew up in Cameroon together. He has manhandled Scotty Burns, who now is becoming a celebrity, y'all. If you ever watch ESPN, he's on commercials with Richard Jefferson now. And so, like, Scotty Barnes is getting manhandled. He is manhandling what's the guy, y'all? His last name started with an A. He's an African kid.
Anobi.
Anobi, my bro. Anobi. All these guys supposed to be focusing in on Joel Embiid. And right now, can't none of them touch Joel Embiid. This part of the reason why I'm viewing him, y'all, as MVP. He is hard to defend. And it doesn't matter who you are. Joel Embiid, y'all, gets to the free throw line. He gets to the free throw line all day. That's how he eats. That's how he make his money. That's what the man does. And so as a result, you don't expect him to really kill you from the three-point line, although he can. And he just so happened to be wide open at the right time, because they sitting there worrying about Danny Green, or they sitting there worrying about James Harden, forgetting that Joel Embiid is the one that's really been killing you this whole series. James Harden hasn't done much this series. He has not really done much at all, low-key. But Joel Embiid has been saving the day, as well as our boy Tyrese Maxey, who is becoming low-key a nice superstar in this league. And so with these three guys, and with Joel Embiid controlling everything in this series, his imprint is all over this series. Toronto they're cooked out there, man. They tried their best game 3. They gave an all-out effort in game 3, and it just was not enough, man. And it's sad because you see them, they worked so hard. They was up the whole game. They were right there. they had a chance at the end of regulation, and Philly still hit them. And so as a result, when you kind of get that dagger, y'all, after you gave like that extra effort, even as the best competitor, y'all know that would kind of hurt sometimes. And I think Toronto, man, they kind of hurt right now, y'all. And so if you Philly right now, man, you kind of think like, hey, we got to feast on this right here, man. We got to feast right now. So, yeah.
Valid points. Deshaun, what's your take on this?
Man, I mean, Brandon cleared that thing up real swift, man. He made a bunch of valid points. Shout out to Maxey. Like he's another button like star, like he mentioned. Joel Embiid, Jesus, I already mentioned that this guy has my vote for like MVP. He's just a matchup nightmare, like Brandon mentioned. Like he can kill you from three. He got like his touch for him to be so big is it's a very, very soft touch, but he's shooting an amazing percentage from the field. He's a walking double-double. And the big time thing is he's getting to like the free throw line. Like he's knocking those joints down. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's Toronto. They basically were the little engine that could until the little engine couldn't anymore. So, I mean, this is like the series is like basically over, but you do got to tip your hat to Toronto to the way that they played the season. I mean, I'm just going to say it's over for them to, get punched in the mouth like this, the way that they did. And I'm sure that Joel Embiid feels great about it because he had to have that same play with Kawhi Leonard, like playing over in his head. Like, I'm quite sure that has like lived in the back of his mind. And I think this was like a way for him to rectify that. Basically like the same position, but he's on the receiving end of things this time. So I'm pretty sure he feels pretty sweet about that. Yeah, I mean, the series, in my opinion, is over right now. For you to be able to battle back from this deficit, like it's going to take everything. And I just don't think that they have enough left in the tank.
Hey, Ian, are we going to hit the trifecta here? Are they burnt toast?
Yeah, I think they cooked. I didn't expect it to be this way, being that they played them pretty good in the regular season. But man, that's the regular season. It's playoff ball now. Joel Embiid, MVP. I don't even think it's close no more. I just think he's been the most consistent all year. He's been showing up in his playoff series. James Harden has been non-existent. So I feel like we are due for a game that James Harden is going to go off. This may be the game and the closeout game in this series. Who knows? But like you guys said, Tyrese Maxey, he is showing up. He's been in his bag. So I think them having James Harden takes a lot of pressure off of him offensively. So he's just been taking over and getting in some good spots and taking some good shots. And he's been knocking them down. Tobias Harris as well. Even though sometimes I feel like he's inconsistent, but he's been playing pretty good. Well, so yeah, I pretty much think this series is over. Joel Embiid, he's playing motivated basketball. Like you said, he want his revenge back. Want his revenge, and you can see it. You can see it.
Man, you know what? And then also, I'm gonna give a shout out to Lack Rivers. Somebody deemed him Lack Rivers. And you think I forgot about that nickname? but Doc, quote unquote, Lack Rivers. I mean, he's on the hot seat big time. Before the playoffs even started, there was rumblings that Toronto's gonna win this series, and if Toronto wins this series, he's gonna be the fall guy. Doc Rivers gonna go coach the LA Lakers at the end of the year. Like all these headlines and stuff. And so for me, for Lack Rivers to draw with that play, for Joel Embiid, a center to shoot the ball, shoot a 3-pointer to win the game, and roll the dice on that, and just had a dominant performance all around in the series. I give him his due when it's time. It comes few and far in between as of late, but nevertheless, shout out to Doc Rivers on that one. So speaking of shockers and things of that nature, this Grizzlies T-Wolves. Yeah, I watched this game from start to finish. I've seen Minnesota jump up by 20, give up the lead first half. I've seen Minnesota jump up by 21, give up the lead and lose the game. I'm at a loss for words. Can somebody explain this to me and basically like I guess predict the rest of this series? Because I'm like I'm still in shock here. Ian, well, what are your thoughts real quick on this whole like just wow?
Minnesota, they are a young team. My number one issue with Minnesota is young team. Cat. Stay off of the perimeter. Got to stay off the perimeter. I mean, in the last 2 weeks, he's been on the perimeter, foul trouble. Can't use him later in the games. Like, that's not going to work. We know he can shoot the ball. We know he feel like he's the best big man shooter in the league, and that's fine and dandy, but you got to stay in that paint, man. I mean, being on the perimeter, that's going to keep him in foul trouble. They don't go home like that. They don't go home.
But he's the 3-point champ, though.
But he ain't Steph Curry. You think he's Steph Curry? That's the problem.
Man.
You know, it's just like, come on, bro. Like, we know you got an all-around game. Like, we know you can shoot that thing, but you got to stay in that paint, baby. You shooting threes, that they don't need you for that. It's great that he can do that, and that's a big plus for sure. But you got to stay in that paint, man. And I don't know, just Memphis is hungry. Like, Ja Morant, I mean, he only had 16 points, but he had a triple-double. He had 16 points with 10 rebounds and 10 assists. So it's just a bunch of hungry young guys. So they want all the smoke. And like I was saying last night, they ran up the chimney and took a couple puffs. They not playing with Minnesota. I feel like also with Minnesota, you got to think about it. You get 14 points from Patrick Beverly, and he's not typically, offensive threat. You other guys, y'all gotta pull that game out. Y'all up by 25. D'Angelo Russell, Ant-Man, they got to pull that out, man. That's unacceptable. At home, that's unacceptable.
Facts. Brandon, I'm gonna let you go next, but I just want to point out that Karl-Anthony Towns had more fouls than shot attempts in that game. Just let that sink in.
Crazy.
What?
Yes.
That's crazy.
4 shot attempts.
Damn, and I watched the
fouls.
game and I didn't even notice that, Jamar.
Because he wasn't playing.
Go ahead, Brandon. Like, let us know how you feel about that. That's a telling stat.
And bro, for real, y'all are throwing some stuff out here this morning, man. Like, these stats are crazy. Like, really. Because, I mean, you're right. And when you watch the damn game, all he is on the sideline because he's fouling so damn much. And he can't be in at the pivotal moments of the game. End of the first half, end of the third quarter, end of the fourth quarter. Like, really, really bad. But one thing I want to point out, y'all, is the coaching. This guy Finch for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I mean, isn't this coaching 101, Jamar, y'all, Deshaun, and when you see a team get hot and go on a 10-0 run, as example, that goddamn thought should be in your head, okay, timeout. Let's do a timeout. On him. He like, time in, goddammit, time in. Keep going. And the other team like, all right, goddammit, we'll keep going. And before you know, a 10-0 run turns into a 21-0 run. And before you know it, you down by 3. And the other team just got all the momentum because they hot. And so, like, I just think, y'all, the coach of Minnesota, he done really kind of put himself in a bad position because, like, he could have controlled those runs and kind of found a way to cool the other team off and then go on his offensive end and draw up a nice little play, y'all, and get a little easy basket to kind of slow the stuff down that was happening. But he did not do that. He wanted to be a Phil Jackson 2.0 and say, we're going to continue to play through this run. Because y'all know Phil Jackson did that a lot with the Lakers. Like, you're going to continue to play through this run, but it didn't obviously work. And so Memphis being a young, hungry team, they got energy galore, y'all. They are all young, all of them. And so they can run up and down the court and like it's a damn track meet and it's nothing for them. Like, it's okay. And so, like, I don't know. I guess he thought Memphis was gonna get tired. I guess he thought, Memphis and Ja Morant was gonna, run out the damn chimney, or no, not run down the what? Yeah, he wasn't gonna go in the chimney. I guess, I guess he thought he wasn't gonna go inside the chimney, but they went in the chimney, damn it, and they got all the smoke, and they literally stood up Minnesota, and they stole they stole this game. This game they stole this game, and if I'm Minnesota, I'm sick, and literally this game, y'all, could be the deciding game of this series. Minnesota lose game 4, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
They gonna regret game 3 for real.
Yep.
In facts. Deshaun, like your thoughts here. I mean, they doing that 21-0 run and stuff, Desmond Bain out here was just banging them in. That man shot 7 of 15 behind the arc with 26 points to lead the way for the Grizzlies. Like, what are your thoughts on this whole collapse?
Man, 2 young teams, right? I think this is like 2 of the younger teams inside like the playoffs. A couple of issues that I want to discuss with Minnesota. So, oh boy. So like the coaching, you guys hit the nail right up on the head, man. It's like, so you're up big, and then like you blow the lead, and like they score, 10 points, and then 12 points, and 12 turns into 16 points. Like, where's the timeout, man? Like that's common sense, just to bring those guys in and to take a different approach. But no, you allowed that to happen. Like, that was one of the most terrible things that I've ever seen. Like, I could not believe that. Jamar, I shared it in our group chat, man. I'm like, I literally just couldn't believe my eyes. Like, I could not believe it. Brandon, you mentioned it, bro. This Memphis Grizzlies team are just young dogs. Like, these guys are like after it, man. Like, I like the way that they're getting up in these guys' faces. Like, they're playing basically like bully ball. Like, they're playing with they're playing with confidence right now, man. Like, they think that they can beat anybody. Even if that's not the case, that's still the way that you're supposed to approach every NBA game, that you're going to beat whoever's up on the opposing end of the floor of you. And I like the way that these guys are playing right now. Another issue, man, that I definitely want to bring up is Big Cat, man, former #1 overall pick, come from Kentucky, right? So, oh boy, I mean, so he takes 4 shots. Patrick Beverley takes 13. Like, come on, like what what in the hell are we doing here? Like, I couldn't even believe that was like an actual thing. A big key issue that no one wants to discuss at this moment. Who's the guy on this team? Okay, it's supposed to be Karl-Anthony Towns. If that's the case, be that guy. Because we've seen D'Angelo Russell take 21 shots this game. 21 shots. Anthony Edwards taking 13. I think he's probably been like their most consistent player. To me, he's looking like the player that is like the main guy. And like, that's the thing that they need to have a chat in the locker room about, is going forward, like, who's going to take what shots in what crucial situations. For me right now, that's been Anthony Edwards. Like, this guy has been playing great. Cat, man, I'm sorry. Like, it's time for you to hold yourself accountable. You want to be a star player, you got to give star effort. You got to know when the team needs you. And I'm sorry, it's just not out there to shoot threes. You proved your point. You're a great big man shooter. Like you said, you're the greatest big man shooter of all time. But like, come on, man. Like, Dirk is still there, man. I'm a Mavericks fan. I'm riding for mine. You know what I mean? He won the 3-point contest too. Let's not forget that. But you want to be a star player, man. You got to give star effort. And like that, his shot selection is questionable. Man, it's just like, I just see a bunch of negatives from this team. And if they don't turn it around in a heartbeat, that Memphis team, like, they're gonna gobble them up straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I mean, he said it. If you want to be a star player, you got to give star effort.
Facts.
And that can be utilized and used for other teams and players. Like go for instance, Zach LaVine, because Prescott JB said Bulls ain't nothing but a bunch of ice cream truck drivers and porta potty cleaners. like man, like that's not star players to me. So we need some star effort out here. At least be the cashier of a booth or something, bro. Like, sheesh. That's messed up, Prescott. That's messed up, man. Game 4 Sunday. And I guess, really quick, Heat, Hawks. Heat has looked like the dominant team for the most part, but as you know, Trae Young can do his thing. Trae Young gives any team a puncher's chance. At least I give him credit for that. Hawks are not the same without Capella or a healthy John Collins here, but they're trying. So Hawks squeaked by yesterday. Jimmy Butler has actually been pretty awesome in this series. But Brandon, real quick, what's your thoughts on that series?
Man, bro, Trae Young, like you say, he give you a puncher's chance for real, don't he, y'all? Like, I feel like with Trae Young against any damn team in the league, Jamar, he gives you a puncher's chance because he can just kill you in so many ways. Like, he can kill you from pulling up from 30. He can kill you with the mid-range, and he can kill you with that floater, which is lethal, which is what got the Heat last night, that floater. This man, y'all, is ice cold. Trae Young, he is such a playoff basketball player, y'all. If I had to pick a damn point guard for the playoffs, I want him or Chris Paul, like for real. Like this man is ice cold, y'all. But I just want to bring up this point. Deshaun, with these playoffs, we have seen a lot of injuries. And so I don't know if y'all heard about this yet, but Kyle Lowry, he pulled his hamstring. And so now he is out for game 4. And so with this being said, you are now seeing these playoffs hit, and it just makes me wonder about a whole different dynamic about is the NBA season too long, etc. Because literally these players are getting hurt, y'all. Chris Middleton, Devin Booker, now you got Kyle Lowry, etc. More players might get hurt. And so with him being hurt, y'all, and the Hawks being in the ATL, Trae Young now, who's sticking him? Tyler Hero or somebody? Like, man, this series now is interesting. It's really interesting now. And I felt that the Hawks were a dangerous number 8 seed because they got Trae Young. They do. And so, like, he controls everything on that team, and they go off his engine, y'all. And even though John Collins is hurt, Jamar, me and you both know with Trae Young on the court, they still got a chance, bro. They still do. I think, Trae Young, he'll go to war with the Heat by himself if he got to, for real. He'll put up 50 on you if he got to.
Facts. I mean, that draft night trade of Trae Young and Luka, that ended up being one of the best trades in NBA history so far. Just throwing that out there. Ian, real quick, what's your thoughts on this series?
The Heat have been looking like the more dominant team, but Ice Trae, he got him over the hump last night. I do feel like the Heat will still win this series. Jimmy Butler, before this game, the last game, he had 45. He had a pretty good game. I didn't like his last shot selection last night at the buzzer. That was kind of questionable. They were only down 1. He took a 3 like he was Michael Jordan or something. I don't know what he was thinking about. But I do feel like they're gonna close out the series. I just think it's too much. They got too many shooters. They haven't really been playing well, so I think they do for a game that the shooters just go off. So I think Miami will close out the series. But you gotta tip your hat to Trae Young. It's a great player. It's gonna be a great player for a long time.
Facts. Deshaun, I mean, he's technically drafted by the Mavs, but how you feel though?
Man, yeah, man, like you guys said, that Trae Young is like a player that is going to keep you inside of a game. And like I mentioned it, often on the show, star players show up in big moments, and that's exactly what Trae Young did yesterday. Like, he was dropping threes from like the logo, like nobody's business. You know what I mean? Like, this guy has unlimited range. He is a proven competitor. I just don't think that they have enough on that team just yet. It's a young team, and you look at this Miami roster, like, they got a dog, like they got an alpha on their team, like they got a season alpha in Jimmy Butler, like a guy that's gonna get in someone's face and say, hey, get to your spots, like things of that nature. Trae can be that guy, but he's he's not ready for that just yet. We do know that he is a young superstar. And shout out to Tyler Hero, man, 6th man of the year. Man, like that's a weapon to have coming off the bench, bro. Like he's phenomenal. I mean, dare I say it, like, white boy, but he plays black, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that means, but I'm still gonna use that. PJ Tucker,
Hooper.
Bam Adebayo. I mean, like these guys are proven winners and have won multiple playoff games at multiple levels. And I just think that Miami is just when compared to them, they're the cream of the crop. And Ian, I know you mentioned that like you didn't like the last shot selection. I actually liked it because Jimmy Butler going to his right with that gather dribble, it's tough to defend. Like that's his bread and butter. I just don't think that he got enough up on that shot. I dug the shot selection because he did get enough separation with the gather dribble when he put it up. But I mean, I can like kind of more so live with those results. It's just Miami is just a better team, and man, like they're one of the top 3 teams in the East, and they legit have a shot at that at the title this year. I'm being completely honest.
Yeah,
I mean, Miami.
Can I say something really quickly, Jamar?
Go for it,
bro. I know, and we've kind of said this on the podcast though. Miami, like you mentioned, Deshaun, they can have a shot at the title, and they can have a shot at being put out in the first round.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Whoever and it's night and day.
They blew the game, Deshaun. They had the game.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just ice cold Trae Young. That was a highway robbery last night. Miami should have won that game. They had the lead. They had everything floating. I remember even watching Alonzo Mourning sitting next to Pat Riley, Jamar, and Struss, the guy from Chicago, another white boy. He shoot the shot. Boom. Alonzo Mourning and Pat Riley like, yeah, like this team probably could win it all. And still amongst all that, y'all, ice cold Trae Young still lurking. He's still coming, low key. That's what makes this dangerous. I'm telling y'all this. Trae Young, I'm telling you, man, that boy dangerous. He's something else.
And he is certainly a specimen out there that you cannot ignore. Really quick before we switch gears to Sean, going into the playoffs, who did you have? I guess winning the East and Western Conference.
In the East, I had. Did I have that like going into the season or
right before the playoffs?
Right before the playoffs.
Yep.
Who did I have? I had Milwaukee. I had Milwaukee going into the playoffs in the East, and from the West, I was uncertain. Like I really was. Like I did not have a favorite coming out the West because everyone like it was so jumbled up. You know what I mean? Like all season, and we had teams moving up, we had teams moving down, and there was no clear-cut favorite. But I'm saying this right now, at this very moment, Golden State is that team, bro. It's just Jesus, man. So yeah, Golden State.
All right. Fair enough. That's our NBA talk for today. We're gonna switch gears to the NFL. And I feel like anytime we talk about Deebo Samuel, I need that theme song from Friday. I need Deebo's music coming on. That's what we need. We need a punch button for that. So Deebo, he wants out of San Francisco here. Apparently there's a whole bunch of different reasons why, supposedly. But I guess, what's the friction between him and the Niners? Has there ever been friction before? This is just brand new. Trey Lance, he's about to be the starter. He's about to lose his number one target. Like what's going on here? I'm gonna ask Brandon to go first, but just know the NFL draft is this Thursday coming up. So normally, deals are made between now and then. So this is hot news. So Brandon, what's your thoughts here, man?
Definitely it's hot news. As y'all notice on the page, and I think this has been posted on Destination Fantasy Podcast in the Early Morning Sports Talk Podcast. When Deebo Samuel makes his request that he's being traded, y'all, literally what happens within the world is everybody and their mama go to putting their uniforms on Debo Samuel. Say, yeah, look, we got him in Green Bay, number 19. Oh, yeah, look, the Bears, we got him in Green, And so, like, it really shows just how big of a commodity this guy is and how people really want them on his team. He reminds me, y'all, a lot of Steve Smith, but mixed with Anquan Bolden. And I say that from a physicality standpoint. He is a physical receiver. And he is one that is not afraid of that smoke, like you say, in. He will literally run you over if he gets his chance and put you clean on your butt. Like, this is what Debo Samuel does. And so you want a guy like that in January. Like, he's like a Trey Young, but just on an NFL level. He's going to win a lot, y'all, wherever he go, because of the effort he puts in, period. And so this is why teams want him, and I think they see that for real, y'all. Now, I don't know how true this is, y'all, but is it that Debo, he just don't want to be in San Francisco or California? He wants to be closer to South Carolina? Like, seriously? Like, I heard this, and I'm just, like, really wondering, Deshaun, like, how could you not want to be in California? But then you want to go to South Carolina, because y'all know he went to South Carolina. You want to be closer to South Carolina to be closer to, so you want to be traded. And so as a result, if you're a Carolina Panthers fan right now, you're going crazy because you're like, hey, like he said he want to be closer to South Carolina, And so this is just what I heard, y'all. It's been put out there on various platforms. And so I just want to state, Deshaun, like, if Debo Samuel want to go from California to South Carolina, why? Just why would you want to leave California, man? Like,
man, I don't know. Beautiful skies there. It's one of the best states to live in. I don't get that one either. But I've been hearing like mixed things, you guys. Like, I've been hearing that he hates the way that he's being utilized. I heard that it's not about the money. But look, make no mistake about it. He is one of the young premier wide receivers in this league. I mean, offensive weapons. Like, he's utilized like a Cordero Patterson is for, Atlanta. Like, he's one of those guys that you mentioned, Brandon, that he doesn't look to avoid contact. He looks to give it. He looks to punish a guy on his way to the end zone. And he's done it on multiple occasions. And I think this is what makes San Francisco. We got like the tight end there, like he Kittle is one of those guys who just dishes out punishment on his way to the end zone. They're just a very, very gritty team, and I think he fits that team scheme. And I mean, it'll suck for me to see him like go somewhere else, because I've seen him be uber productive with this team, and I know that he can be productive wherever he goes. So whether he stays, whether he lands with another team, whether it be Carolina, I think he's still going to be that same chain snatching wide receiver that we've come to love.
Chain snatcher.
So it's one of those things to where I'm not sure where this came from. It just came out of like thin air, basically, and it just popped up at the right time, because like Jamar mentioned that NFL draft is like Thursday, and like deals get done. So maybe his agent or he knew exactly what he was doing if he was unhappy there. Like, I need to get down to like the bottom of this story. I need more facts to come out. I need Debo to speak up for himself, because at this point it's just like more so speculation. But whoever lands this guy, it's basically like winning the lottery.
For real, man. Yeah, I just want to ask you, Deshaun and Ian, like, with Debo, in his trajectory, we state that it's not about the money, it's about the utilization. Mm-hmm. So with Debo and his utilization, are you worried about, or is he worried about how he's being used, y'all, and that possibly could, derail his career for the long term?
I think that may be a main issue. I think me personally, from the outside looking in and seeing what's coming out, I think it's a couple of things. I think he probably does want to be close to home, but I think that might be a small cop out. I think another big reason he might want to be out is because their quarterback situation. They still have Jimmy G. Supposedly, I guess he's going to be traded, but I don't know. And I think I heard that Trey Lance is going to be, the starting quarterback. So, maybe he don't think Trey Lance is it, and maybe he just doesn't want to come out and say that publicly. Another reason is, so he was drafted in the second round, and he's on the fourth year of his deal. So he wasn't a first round pick, so he doesn't get a fifth year option. So maybe they don't want to pay him a number that he wants, with the receiver market going up. That could be an issue. And the way he's being used. So maybe he doesn't like the way he's being used because, him playing running back and receiver, that's, that takes miles off his body, so that'll shorten his NFL career. And as we've seen in the past, once he gets hurt, he has no leverage no more, so he gets a serious injury and he won't get his big payday. So,
Right.
I mean, I can't really say that I blame these guys because you're starting to see it on these podcasts. These athletes, they come out and you're hearing like stories about, why these teams, they won't pay them. I even heard a story recently about Chris Johnson. He rushed for 13, I think like 1,100 yards or 1,200 yards on a torn meniscus, and they didn't want to pay him. I'm like, that's crazy. And they said he had a down year. I'm like, can't have a down year on a torn meniscus and run for 1,100 yards. that's crazy. So right. It could be something that we particularly don't know about, which you just got to wait and see. I mean, I'm sure he'll come out probably after whatever deal is done or whatever happens, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot more to it. But from the outside looking in, I know the main probably two issues is probably the way he's being used, money, and I think the South Carolina thing, I think that was kind of like a cop-out, just to kind of keep the peace in the media.
Right, but then like you mentioned, also the quarterback situation too.
Yeah, that's
Jimmy G. His problem is being hurt, but I think we all can agree, y'all, that when he's on the field, they're a pretty good team. They are a pretty good team, a dangerous team, and they win. It ain't the prettiest, it ain't the Rams, but it's a great. He's a great quarterback for that team. Let's put it that way.
I would have to completely agree with you, bro.
He's a great quarterback for that team, and it works out for that team. And so, yeah, man. Let's briefly, y'all. Let's briefly talk about something that happened a couple of weeks ago. And this is since our brother Deshaun is on, he's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Yeah, Deshaun, I'm put you on the spot, bro, just in regards to our brother Dwayne Haskins. We know what happened with him a couple of weeks ago. And it was sad that, he transitioned the way he transitioned on the highway. Eventually news came out of the 911 call that he was just going to get gas because his car ran out of gas on the highway, which could happen, right, if you're away sometimes. And so, we know what happened with that story. And his services was yesterday. Mike Tomlin was there, various others. From the Commanders, etc., Ohio State, and he is having another service back in his hometown, in Virginia, West Virginia, something like that. And so, just Deshaun, what do you have to say about just Dwayne Haskins, man? Like, any memories of the guy preseason or NFL? Like, just what's your thoughts on the scenario, man? Just
so. Like, first and foremost, I want to say, rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins. My heart goes out to him and his loved ones and everyone surrounding that tragic news that we all received, man. It's when you're that young in age and, you don't get a chance to live like a full life. You're playing at the highest level in sports and in like the NFL. And it's like, you got a lot of good things going on for you. And to have that all taken away, like that's really tough. And it sucks. First and foremost, I want to say that I hate the way that it came off inside of like social media first and foremost, because Adam Schefter tweeted, struggling quarterback, that or something like that. Like that's not the way
something
that you
that
want
matters.
to.
Right.
You don't want to do that, man. Like his family's reading that, his loved ones are reading that. People that care about this man genuinely reading that. You don't send a message to the world in that manner. So that was disgusting in my opinion. Like he could have got canceled for doing something like that, man. We are in cancel culture right now. So I mean, I get it. He's still Adam Schefter and like the guy that we look for this information. But if you're gonna send that information out, just do it in a dignified manner. Like that's all that I'm asking of you, because this man isn't with us anymore. I don't care about his struggles or whatever. I want to give a shout out to Coach Tomlin for bringing this guy in, having like a belief that he can change the way that this guy looks at the game of football. So Mike Tomlin has always been that type of coach to take that player up on his wing. And honestly, I thought he would have been a great backup. I think he's the second best quarterback that was on our roster at the time, maybe an inch behind Mitchell Trubisky. And he's a hell of a lot better than Mason Rudolph. I can guarantee you that. So it's unfortunate. It sucked, when I got the news, but you never want to send a guy off in a negative light when he's making that heavenly transition. So like I just thought that was awesome.
Yep. Yeah, man, and you see literally people now have been kind of negatively in a way speaking about Adam Schefter after that. And so he unfortunately brought that on himself. The man Dwayne Haskins never did nothing to him personally, never. And so like, for him to say that was kind of really, really it was a really bad thing, honestly, for real. And so yeah, rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins. On the other hand, fellas, let's just quickly transition with baseball. Deshaun, you are a White Sox fan. And Ian, you are a White Sox fan. Our White Sox, we all got on black. And they had a rough week this week.
Woo.
So, yeah, I think they lost like all their games this week, literally, outside of maybe winning one. And so, like, they had a rough week. The Cubs, they had a rough week. With Tony La Russa, I just want to ask y'all really quickly, do you guys believe that Tony La Russa is the answer to us winning the World Series? And so we had a lot of fun with this, Sean, a couple weeks back. And so just curious, man, what do the Sox do if they continue to go on a losing slump, which, as you see, is looking like they're not the team that we might think they are, but it's early. It's early. Do you hang on to Tony, or do you begin maybe doing a search for a manager?
Man, I'm going to say you're going to wait until a quarter of the season plays out. It's still extremely early, 162 game season. And like you go through, like is it like some of like the lineups that he have out there are like questionable. And I mean, maybe we can talk about that a little bit. But I mean, a lot of the things that we've been doing, especially on the defensive side of man, we've been making errors left and right. Tim Anderson, like my favorite player in baseball right now, hasn't been looking as stellar as he's known to be. I think a lot of these wounds are truly self-inflicted, and it does come back to like the manager. But also, like, we have to do a little bit better up on the field, like defense. I think like the sticks will be there when it's time to hit and big game opportunities and opportunities that we need to get us pushed over the hump. I think eventually that will come. We got the sticks. Shore up the bullpen, like that's always been like one of those big things. But as far as La Russa, man, Brandon, man, I honestly didn't think that it being this early, we would have to like look as far as like other options, as far as like managers are concerned. But that may be the case. I don't want to pull a plug like too early. It's a long, drawn out season, man, and we're gonna go through a bunch of changes. So I'm gonna pump the brakes. I'm gonna say still give this man a shot. Hopefully he'll be able to switch some things up to where it'll work for us. Like, we know our roster. We know what we were predicted at the beginning of the season. We were predicted to do great things. I still see that coming from this team. And like, I'm just gonna I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt in this particular situation.
Yeah. Yep. Just quickly, Ian, before we go. Yeah. Prescott JB says Schefter got to be a better professional than that. That was a horrible tweet. And then he also stated, how did the Bulls go out there last night and get cooked by Senator Ted Cruz, SMH? So, yeah, I guess the Bulls got cooked by
Senator Ted Cruz. That's rich.
It is very rich,
Oh
isn't it?
man.
So, yeah, man, you know, Prescott JB played football with us, Deshaun, me and Ian at Morgan Park. And so that's our brother, man. And so,
Okay.
Yeah. But Ian, bro, we'll let you have the last word, man, about the White Sox. This is a White Sox podcast, by the way. No disrespect to Chris Ford and Jonathan Abernathy. Anthony Washington, all those wonderful Cubs fans, but you know, we're not even gonna talk about the Cubs. Let them have a damn bad week. On the other hand, as far as the White Sox, man, that's our concern here. So, yeah, bro. You're right, Deshaun. We might definitely need to pump the brakes with Tony La Russa, but you might want to start asking now because, I mean, it's early, got a lot of season, but you just hearing people start to talk about them. When you start to talk about it, guys, when the news articles come out, Ian.
Yep.
Now, we've been talking about this on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast for a while. But now articles are coming out. Now writers are talking about it. That's when it starts, you know, that's when the wind starts going. And so, Ian, bro, just any final thoughts on the White Sox, man, before we conclude for this morning.
I think Deshaun pretty much hit it on the head. See, baseball is a long season. So, I don't think we want to jump the gun and just get him out of there, you know. So to be honest, I would say give him this will be his last year to show improve. Now, if we just don't, we don't improve or take that next step or get to the World Series with this team that we have that's more than capable of doing so, we got to go in another direction. Baseball is a long season. You're going to go through trials and tribulations, and it might just take them to get hot at the right time, you know, so.
Right.
But I'll give him a year. But if there's no progress after this year, then got to whisper in his ear, we got to let you go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that kind of reminded me of Coach Spurlock. And I got a funny story. And I was terrible at track, pretty good at football, terrible at track, man. And I used to run in and I would be slow. And Coach Spurlock come up like, Price, cross country. I'd be like, oh, so I'm not a sprinter. Price. cross country. And so, yeah, that's how I ended up being in cross country for 3 years. And so, yeah, man, we will see y'all how this turns out, man. Tony La Russa, I totally agree with you, Deshaun. I am with you, really. I'm with y'all, man. That we should definitely give Tony more time because he has led us to the playoffs. We have won. We even had a slow start last year, you know, and things just picked up from there. And so you just know, though, when the articles start coming out that people noticing now. And when you got these big writers, these important writers from the Tribune, start putting this stuff out there, the rumblings go through Chicago, then they start going to ESPN, and then it gets right. And so, hopefully, man, Tony and the White Sox can meet those expectations. The bullpen can do what they do, y'all, and we can, you know, have a good season. And so, with that being said, Deshaun, bro, thank you for joining us this morning. We truly appreciate you chopping it up with us, man. You are very, very welcome to come back. We got guests in the coming weeks as well, bro. So if you feel free, if you got time, feel free to stop by and chop it up with us, man. We truly appreciate you chopping it up with us this morning, bro. And so any final thoughts or shout outs, man, as we head into the weekend?
Yeah, man, I want to say, you know, thank you guys for having me. Like, you know, I'm always on like the comment, the commenting side of things. I'm in like the comments, and when I can't be here with you guys, and it feels really good to be up on like the opposite side of things. So thank you guys for allowing me, man, because it's been some good articles out there, man. It's been some good sports like this. Playoffs have been pretty phenomenal. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for allowing me to to give my little spin on things. And in final thoughts, I want to say, look, man, if you're in Chicagoland right now, get out, enjoy this beautiful day. It's only gonna last for so long, man. Like you already mentioned, Brandon. Like next week, we're back in the 40s. So today we're gonna be pushing almost 80. If you got kids, get up, get out, enjoy this day, man. Yep.
Heard that, bro. What about you, man? Any final thoughts, my bro?
No, not in particular. Just always a pleasure being on here with you guys. Always.
Yeah, man. Truly appreciate it, guys. We got guests coming as well, man. I truly appreciate you guys as well. Thank you. Pretty decent conversation, man, this morning. I always have a fantastic time with you guys. I appreciate the flexibility because as stated, y'all, I am away right now, but my brothers hold it down for me. And so I truly, truly appreciate that in a number of ways, for real. And so, Deshaun, man, you hop on this morning, and we still had the 3 this morning, man, even with our brother Jamar having to handle some business. And so truly appreciate it, bro, man. Truly appreciate you guys. And so thank you guys as well for supporting the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Prescott, JB, Anthony Walsh, various others, man, Jay Hughes, etc. We got a great community page. And so, y'all, let's continue to build this momentum while we have fun having our conversations every weekend. So truly appreciate you guys. And I learned a lot from you guys all the time. And much love. Thank you, guys. And everybody out there, have a great weekend. Enjoy that weather and stay safe. Peace.